Alright, this is my mid-semester project update. Here we have the power box. It's mostly assembled. What I'm missing here, I have all the cables here routed for the two connectors. For the second arm, I do not have them routed yet. As you can see, they're just empty. I do have the wires pre-cut to size. They're sitting over on a shelf, but I have not implemented them yet. What we have here is here's the first Mega 2560 for arm 1. This is my cam module. This is a just a block for ground because I didn't have nearly enough grounds coming off here. So side B is the ground block for arm 1. Side A is the ground block for arm B. These are custom breakout boxes for the Mega 2560. It allows me to screw in each individual wire. Power supply. This is the 24 volt power supply. These have banks of 3 with 4 drivers on each bank. This one here is the 12 and 5 volt. And then I have a custom distribution block here, allowing for 4 12 volt out channels and 2 5 volt out channels. The 5 volts will power the motor driver for the grip on the robotic arm. That's this motor right here. It is not currently wired up, as you can see. That's on my to-do list. 2 of the 12 volt channels will power fan rails for each of the robot's arms. The other one will power the control box. Powers on 12 volts. That's about it. This is my power plug, and you can see switch. This is my e-stop, which is mounted on the door. Currently not on the box for sake of space. So the robot arm itself, this one is fully assembled. It is not full. Well, it's not fully wired, however. The top wiring uses a cable with I want to say it's 16 wires. Yeah. Here's the end. I was testing a couple of the motors, so I still have these on here. I left them on so that I know that's one motor channel. This is another motor channel. I gotta use the meter and actually figure out the rest. I have not done that yet. When I do, it will go to the second connector on the back. Pick this up. The entire arm has its own base. It's a little heavy. It's bolted to the base, as you can see, and one of the cables is wired for axis 1 through 3. All those loose wires are for axis 4 through 6, which I showed you. There's the wire for it. It is not wired. The stand was just made out of plywood with some 3D printed feet. So, these cables are 16 wire cables. They use a custom connector on this end, and on this end is a Tyco circular 16 pin connector. So that just goes in here. It will only screw in or only go in one way, and then you just tighten that up. Take the other end. Make sure I get the right one, and you just plug it right in, and that's it. Robot's ready to be powered on. So I'll go ahead and kick on the system, and you can see everything light up. For the second robot arm, this is as far as I've gotten. It's just the base with the motor. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in because I'm going to show you some testing with it. So I'm just going to kind of hot wire that just like that. This is the box. It uses a Tyco 8-pin connector. And let's see. Let's hard to do with one hand, but I'm going to try. Plugs in like so. And there you go. You can see it comes right on. Now the box is not complete. There's a little bit of work to be done inside. These buttons are extra. They came with this box. I plan to implement them in somehow. The on and off switch does work, as you can see. This will be a future SD card. This is to load on custom programs. So if you load up manual control, and let's see, grab a stylus to keep my fingers out of the way, and I want to move one. You can see one moving. Try to get them both in the picture. That's for axis 1. That's for axis 2. And that's for axis 3. Then, as advertised, you can switch here to Robot Arm 2. And there you go, Robot Arm 2. Which, of course, is just axis 1 at the moment. That's 1, or that's 2. And that's 1. You can very easily switch between either one for either manual or automatic control. So on the to-do list still is, of course, wire up these 6 drivers to their terminals. The cables I've started making, but I still need to finish making these 2 cables. They are rather time consuming. I need to finish up some stuff here. I need to get the SD card working. I need to do these buttons. Inside, I need to clean up the wiring. Probably need to do some soldering. For robot, well, for either robot, I mean, obviously for this one, I need to build everything above axis 1. Well, axis 1's not even finished. But in general, one of the things that needs to be done is develop software. I kind of slowed it down a bit. When it was moving faster, you could tell, but it needs some acceleration software. You kind of see it's wobbly. It needs some acceleration software to kind of smooth out the starting and stopping of it. But that is pretty much the complete tour.